Hi and welcome to Homo Ludens for this yearly debrief, and as we usually do on this channel in December, we go through the unboxing of the gifts that I got through the Wargame Secret Santa, and we take the opportunity to reflect a bit on the year that just passed and look a bit ahead on the year to come. So this year for the Secret Wargame Santa. So if you don't know about the initiative, it's an initiative that takes place every year where you get to register on Board Game Geek and you get assigned a secret target for which you are the Secret Santa, and then someone gets assigned yourself and send you some gifts. So of course, it's the concept of a Secret Santa, so you don't know who's who, and what you do is just look into that person's profile, look into their wish list, and try to figure out what would be a nice gift for them for a Christmas present. This year for me was a bit unusual because my target was in Japan. It was not a Japanese player, so that simplified things a bit because then I could just send English games. So it was actually someone that I knew and interacted with on BGG, so it was actually quite funny that is living in Japan, and he had some interest in some war games that I like a lot, and I thought I would get them to him. The first one that he was interested in was Great War Commander, which is Hexasim's version of Combat Commander but applied to World War I. So I got him the base box, which was recently back in print on Hexasim's website, so it's available again, an awesome game, very cool. So I sent this over. And the other thing that was on his wish list, and I haven't played it, but it looks like a really cool game, and I really like the designer, was the Burma game by Kim Kenger. So the one that was released by Legion, I believe, yeah, if I remember correctly. So that was the two ones that I sent to him. I just received an email like a few days ago telling me that he received it there. It's received it, so it went from France to Japan, and he received it the other day. He was really excited. So yeah, spreading the joy of Christmas all over the world. That's the idea. And I got my gifts, and I thought I'm gonna unbox them, talk about what I got, but also reflect a bit on what happened this year. This video is highly unstructured. I'm basically recording the day before I'm taking the train to go back in France. I just wanted to have the recording so I can edit it on the train and post it on Christmas Day. So yeah, sorry if it's a bit dodgy, but yeah, that's basically what you'll have to work with. But yeah, so I got two gifts, one from Second Chance Game and something else that is a bit more unusual. I don't know what it is. My Secret Santa seemed like a really nice person, so we'll see what it is. There is a high risk that what I'm gonna get is some ASL starter kits. The reason for that is because the people on the Discord server of Homo Ludens have been harassing me for me to do some content on ASL. The thing is that I've pushed back on the idea for a few reasons. I've never been super excited by ASL as a system, first of all, even if I think there is a lot of interesting stuff, but also because for those kind of content, I would like to have the support from the publisher for them to promote the content, potentially put me in contact with people from the ASL to get some people to actually work with me on the teach and plays and everything, and sending me some boxes. MMP doesn't support content creators, which is fine. It's a decision that they make and they are completely entitled to. The thing is that it makes my job difficult, and I'm not going to go out of my way. I have a lot of stuff to cover, so if they don't want to support for initiatives like this, well, I'm just probably not going to do it. That being said, this community is pretty obsessed by the idea of me playing ASL, and quite a lot of them were taking part in the Secret Santa. So there is, I would say, a good probability that one of them got me as a target and might have sent me this as a joke, which is highly probable. If it is an ASL starting set, I will play ASL on the channel, I promise. And I think this is probably a good segue into talking about one of what I think is the greatest achievement for me for the channel this year. and that's creating a community. So if you remember last year, I talked a bit about some of the things that I wanted to change, and I was saying I don't want Homo Ludens to be a one-man operation anymore. I want to build a community, to extend, to have more guests, to have more people that I work with to do some content. And one of the ways for me to get into that was to structure a community. So what I did is I set up a Ko-fi. So Ko-fi is a platform where you can donate to the channel to support it. And I did this for two reasons. One of them was to get some support from the community to actually pay some of the ongoing stuff that I have to pay on the channel. So I have to pay my StreamYard account. I'm probably going to set up a platform also to record some podcasts, buying some bots for the servers and stuff like this. So there are some ongoing payments that I have to make. So that was a way for me to not having to pay every month out of my own pocket for doing free content. Also, as you might know, I always refuse to have advertising on the channel, so I don't get any income from this. I also refuse to get money from publishers to do specific coverage. So the only way I get money is from the people watching this show, so from you, if you wish to support. I don't need it. It's just a way to create a bond and work together on making sure that I can cover the costs. It's still a passion project. I don't intend for it to be more than that. The second reason for that community to exist was that when you donate on Ko-fi, you get an invite to the Discord server, and this was a good way for me to regroup a lot of people that were heavily engaged with the content and interact with them in a more direct way and start to foster a community. And I must say, I've been more than pleasantly surprised by the community. It's a very vibrant community. There is a lot of activity on there. It is a lot of fun. There is a lot of great people, and it actually enabled me to also meet with people that I could start to work with to actually deliver on that objective that I had of fostering a community of content creators on Homo Ludens. But anyway, I'll go back to this and let's look at what's in the box. And actually, this is a surprise. I didn't expect this. So the game that is in the box, coming from Second Chance Game, is a game by Kim Kanger called Ici c'est la France, which, if you don't know, is one of the few games on the Algerian War of Independence, which we wouldn't know from the title, and that's maybe one thing that we can discuss about when we'll play the game. I've played this game with Steven Ronganzas over Vassal this year. It was a very interesting experience. Have some thoughts about the game. I'm thinking about maybe doing a video about games about Algerian independence, maybe having a three-way review where I talk about Algeria War of Independence by Brian Train, Ici c'est la France, and Colonial Twilight, and just comparing them as a whole. I think they all have interesting things about them, but I also have issues with each of them for different things. That doesn't mean that they are not great design. I think they are, all of them, super interesting, and I like all of them for different reasons, but I still think that we're still looking for the ultimate or a more ideal game on the war in Algeria. But yeah, Kim Kanger, amazing designer. I actually have. It's funny because I sent a Kim Kanger game to my target in the Secret Santa. So Kim Kanger is probably a very popular designer, maybe in that Secret Santa program. But I have Dien Bien Phu on the shelf that Legion sent me, so Dan Bullock should come back on the show to teach me Dien Bien Phu. So that's one of the things that we had planned for quite a while, but I promise we'll do our best to do it this year in 2024. And also have Tonkin on the war in Indochina that I'm super interested in. I really want to cover. So actually, if there is someone out there that knows Tonkin quite well, because Kim is not really keen on coming for doing teach and plays and stuff like this, I'll probably have him on the podcast, which was something that he wanted to do as an interview, but not really in live stream plays. So if you're out there, you know Tonkin really well and want to come on the show, reach out to me and we can organize something. So super excited to have Ici c'est la France. I had never played it actually on a physical copy. And actually, I think it might be hard to play on the physical copy, just because there is a lot of bookkeeping to look into the political support of each of the wilayas. And I think there is a big, yeah, you've got this big population track thing. So if I show it here, so that's actually quite a lot of bookkeeping. So in Vassal, it's super easy to track because you have some events that change all of them at once, and it's all automatized. But yeah, this is the event cheat chart. But yeah, super interesting. It was interesting because actually when Brian Train was on the show and we're playing Algeria War of Independence, we were talking about this game and he was telling me that he's never played it. And I was telling him maybe what we could do is we could play it together over Vassal or something like this. But now I have the rules and everything, so that could be maybe a future content also. But anyway, awesome first surprise. So to my Secret Santa, thank you very much. This game will be played and will be loved. Very happy to finally have this. So that's really, really cool. That's a very Merry Christmas. So going back to the community, as I said, we have this Discord server now. So if you... I'm going to tell you a secret. If you join the Discord server, we might tell you that you are the 100th member of the Discord server. That is a lie. We've had more than 100 members for quite a while, but it's part of the lore. There is a big lore that was developed in the Discord server, so you'll have to catch up when you come in. But there is a lore channel that provides all of the context, so don't worry too much about it. Anyway, it's a lot of fun, and quite a few things came out of this. I think one of the first things is that I started collaborating with someone called Luis Aguas Vivas, who has this very cool blog on gaming, but more video games, but also tabletop games, called Pop Matters. And he writes also for... No, wait a minute. He has his own blog, and he also writes for Pop Matters. Sorry, I'm getting confused. But anyway, he is an excellent writer. I love the way he thinks about games. And we've been working together on making more, I would say, board game ethics kind of content together. So he was working with me on the colonialism one. He was also working with me when we invited NB to talk about his article, or War Games Propaganda. And we're working on quite a few things to come this year or next year in 2024. And I intend to also work more and more with him, especially on those topics that are looking at games a bit more seriously and more generally, which I think is quite exciting, and he's very, he's pushing me in that direction in really interesting ways. So more collaboration with Louis. A big part of the collaboration that came out of this year was definitely Piers and Stuart's coming on the podcast and having their own podcast series on the Homo Ludens podcast called We Intend to Move on Your Works. If you haven't listened to it, I highly recommend it. It's one of the content I'm the proudest of on the Homo Ludens extended universe, and it's a content that I have almost nothing to do with, so I'm just proud of it because I'm just proud to host it, not even being involved in it. It's an amazing series on the depiction of the American Civil War in war games. It is very much in depth. It is super interesting. I've learned so much recording those, editing those, listening to them when I'm not involved. And yeah, it's a great series. So sometimes I will host it and drive the conversation and facilitate it. Other time it would be Alexandre Fontaine-Rousseau, who's another French-speaking member of the community. So we keep the French accent for the host, which is really important. That will also be hosting it. And thanks a lot, Alex, for all of your help. Really appreciate it. And yeah, it's an awesome series. And when I see this, I'm like, wow, this is exactly the kind of stuff that I wanted to see. And I hope there will be more in the future. I'm still open to have people hosting videos on Homo Ludens that I'm not involved in. I can be involved in helping out in making the videos and everything, but I don't need to have my face in there. And this is slowly developing. There are also spin-off projects that are starting out of the server. You might see a magazine come out that will have nothing to do with Homo Ludens, but sparked out of that community. And this is exactly what I wanted to see, like foster that community and having people doing stuff that I'm excited about and I think are good additions to the wargame hobby. But let's look into the second gift. So this one is a bit more of a surprise. Probably not a game, or maybe a Ziploc game. Who knows? I'm not sure. Or maybe a Christmas card. We'll see. Very fancy letter here. Oh, it looks like a Ziploc. Yeah, it feels like a Ziploc. It is a Ziploc game. Okay, fair enough. It is a Ziploc game. Oh, Oh, okay, so this is really unexpected. The Battle of Mackinac Island by Snafu. So Snafu is a Spanish publisher that for the last few years have released those insanely cool Ziploc games. You might have seen me talking about them on the podcast. I've made a review of one of their game for the Punch magazine. It's really a company that keeps delivering bangers after bangers. I've tried to have one of the designers come in for a teach and play of Equatorial Clash. I haven't given up on that. I think I will still try to do this. But yeah, this is basically a game by Matt Kelly. It looks like a small tactical game. I haven't read much about this one, so I'm pretty excited about this. I love Snafu. I think it's really a publisher to follow. The only gripe that I have with Snafu is that I think that their game deserve to be out of a Ziploc. I think they were awesome games, and I would like to have them in small boxes, or like Vivictis does, like the small cardboard folding thing. I think it would deserve, because I want to display them on my shelves and everything, because I think they are just so cool. And they often have amazing art by Niels. Niels, also friend of the show and also part of the community, which is, I think, the best war game artist right now. This looks really cool. A lot of player aid sheets. What looks like a like more high-level board, and then a combat board here. Interesting. Small rule set. Doesn't look too complex. 12 pages of rules, small pages of rules with, And then, there's a Snafu bonus. So I guess that's going to be a postcard game. They also have a really fun postcard game. So we'll see what's in there. And it is a postcard game. Yes, and this one I can recognize that, I guess, some of the art is from Niels. I would expect. Very cool. Oh yeah, this looks like bombardments over Barcelona. Probably Spanish Civil War, late Civil War, probably in the 38, something like this. Yes, March 38. Super interesting. I will try this out and I will cut it off. I know that some people like to keep them intact, but I will cut it off, try it out. And if you follow me on Twitter @FredServal, you will see some stuff over there. So those were my two gifts, awesome gifts. So thanks a lot to my Secret Santa. Those are two amazing choices. Super happy to have received those, and they will get some plays, definitely. So what's up for the year to come? Well, I don't think there is going to be a lot of changes for the year to come because the movement that, like the shift that I started doing is not a shift that happens overnight. What I want to do is keep developing the community, having more different faces coming on the show, and keep fostering this and hopefully support other pieces of content that will come from different members of the community, coming with different perspectives. I might try to do a bit less content myself this year, so whether or not there is a lot more community involvement on my step, I will probably do a bit less. I think this has been my most productive year so far, even though I have work, I have design work, and I had quite a few different kinds of health problems over the year. I've done quite a lot of stuff, even if I'm late on a lot of stuff, and a lot of you are waiting on podcast episodes that I'm supposed to publish or edit, videos that are in my editing backlog. It still was a very productive year. So when you complain about those things, remember about everything that I've done. Like I've done quite a lot of stuff. But yeah, that being said, I'm probably gonna scale down a bit because it has been a very successful year. I'll put maybe some numbers somewhere down just to contextualize this. But yeah, it's been like in terms of views, in terms of subscribers, in terms of content, it's been very productive. It worked really well. So I'm pretty happy with that overall. But I feel like I'm not chasing the numbers. I'm not really excited about that. I'm feeling like I want to step down a bit and focus maybe on more specific, being a bit more specific about my content. I think a bit more, take a bit more time, chill out a bit more, give more space for people to actually do their own stuff on the platform, and we'll see how it goes. The other thing that I'm super excited about this year is that I started working with Liz from Beyond Solitaire on different stuff, and we started collaborating quite a lot. She's been on the show quite often. I've been on her channel quite often. We have this ongoing series, Wargame Archaeology, together, where we look into the history of wargaming. We read old magazines from the 60s and the 70s. We play old games. We're going to invite people. We're going to talk also about research that has been made on the wargame community at specific moments in time. So we have actually quite a big series around this. And I think that's definitely something that I want to engage on more. So probably following less what are the new releases and everything, and just maybe spending more time looking back. So I think that if I'm thinking about 2024, I think there is going to be a bit more of history of historical gaming in a way. And in the games that I'm going to cover, I know that I said this last year and I didn't do it that much, but I wanted to cover more historical games that are absolutely not war games. I've done it a bit, but not as much as I wanted, and I'm going to try to expand a bit on this this year. So I think the first video that is going to be out in that direction is going to be an interview of the designers of Sankare, which was released by Osprey very late this year, which is a topic that I find fascinating and is clearly more in the Euro category, but takes the history really seriously. So I was really excited about this one. So we'll cover this on the channel, and I'll try to go a bit more in that direction, but still having a strong focus on wargaming because I love wargames. That's just the way it is. So that's the plan for the year to come. I don't know if there is much to say. No, I want to keep on, focus on the positive side. It's Christmas. I hope that you're having awesome holiday with your loved ones. If you celebrate Christmas, have a Merry Christmas. Hope you got some cool gifts as I did. I want to thank everyone who's supporting this show, specifically the people from the Discord community who donated on Coffee and or engaging on an ongoing basis on this Discord server. It has been definitely a big highlight for me this year. I love what we built there together. I think it's really cool, and I want to thank all of you for this. So that was really, really cool. But then if you're also a regular, a regular viewer, I also want to thank you. I'm happy that you're enjoying the content. I think it's really great that you're having fun with it, because I do it for that, just for people to have a good time discovering the hobby, thinking about it in different ways, and I really feel like it's working in that sense. So really happy about this. That's pretty much it. Enjoy your holidays, eat, drink, party, have fun, enjoy your spending time with your close ones, play war games, play well, and see you next year. Bye-bye.
مهزة بالله بيبي فلسطين عسنساي وبنت بلادي عجباني فضلكم احكوا مش سامع continue à parler on vous entend pas